here to take you through a low intensity workout today. So equipment wise, you're going to need a chair, 2 dumbbells or 2 weighted alternatives, so whether that's filled water bottles or tins, and you're also going to need a towel or a cloth or a resistance band, something of that kind of ilk. So we've got a chair, 2 weights, and a towel or something like that. So today I'm going to take you through a bit of a warm-up. We're then going to do one circuit together that has a total of 5 exercises in. Each exercise we're going to do from 45 seconds to a minute, have a little rest and move on to the next one. We're going to go through that circuit twice together, and then you're going to have a little cool down at the end. So please make sure you're comfortable before you start and that you've got a glass of water to hand. And the warm-up I'm going to take you through seated first of all. So let's get straight into it then. So warm-up first of all, we're going to start off on the front limb of your chair with a bit of a march for me. Now with all of these exercises, we're going to try to set up a good posture first of all. So throughout, I want you to make sure that you have your chest lifted, shoulders back and down. We're going to set that up now by rolling shoulders back. So with all of these exercises, please feel free to work at your own pace. I'm just going to be setting a general pace. But if you need to work slower or if you want to work faster, that's absolutely fine. But by the end of the warm-up, you should hopefully be feeling a bit warmer, a bit out of puff, but nothing so much that you can't take part in the rest of the exercise. So please just take it at your pace. Good. Well done. Okay, so from here we're going to go to digging heels in front, and we're going to point toes up towards the sky for me. If you want to here, we can bring in an arm as well, into a bicep curl, and we're aiming for opposite arm to opposite leg. But don't worry about it too much, as long as you're moving, I'm happy. Good. Well done. From here, we're going to tap toes forward, pushing your arms with it. Now we're going to make sure as well that we stay sat up nice and straight, that chest stays lifted, shoulders back and down. I'm going to sound like a broken record by the end of this. Doing well. Good. So from here we're going to take your legs out side to side, taking it up and over. But if you do suffer with any hip issues and this movement tends to aggravate that, please just make the movement smaller for me. So just take it along the ground instead as far as it's comfortable. And here I want you to add in an arm as well. Good, doing well. So just make sure that whatever movements you're doing today, you make them as big as you feel able to. We want everything nice and big, nice and cheesy as we go through it together. Well done. Good, so from here we're going to pass your tray side to side, giving heels or toes tapping, passing it over side to side for me. Now with this exercise, you want to make sure that we keep those hips facing forwards as we're just trying to mobilise through the top of your spine here and start to wake up your core a little bit. Good, marching through. If you can, try to make it a little bit bigger for me, a little bit cheesier. Doing well. We're going to take it back to heel digs, this time with 2 arms for me. Now you might feel a bit of a pull in your calf at the bottom here, but that's completely normal. It's just stretching that muscle a little bit whilst keeping that heart rate up nice and high. Good, well done. From here, let's take it to that toe tapping this time, 2 arms out in front. Now you might be starting to feel a little bit of a burn in the top of those thighs, and that's completely normal here. And because those muscles are so big and they need a lot of oxygen, that's why we tend to get a bit out of breath as we go through these movements. Good. Well done. From here then, let's go for tapping out side to side this time. 2 arms for me if you can. But if this does aggravate any shoulder issues that you have, please just take it from the elbow instead. We're doing really, really well. Almost there on this warm-up. last one. Well done. So we're going to keep heels tapping, or toes tapping, and we're going to reach it down, side to side for me. So we're mobilising through the rest of your spine here, and we're also starting to wake up your core and these muscles on the side called your obliques that sit just above your waist. Good. Doing really, really well here. Last two. Last one. Good. Well done then, guys. So, I want you to keep your heels moving for me, but that is the end of your warm-up. If you don't feel quite warm enough yet, please repeat that warm-up again, but this is your chance to go and grab a drink if you need it. So you can either pause the video and go and have that little rest, but make sure you keep those feet moving, or you can crack straight onto the main body of workout with me now. So I'm going to go straight into it, and as I said, we've got one circuit to do with 5 exercises in altogether. We're going to alternate between lower body and upper body exercises, so we're going to work your whole body today, and you might start to feel quite out of puff throughout it, and that's completely normal. So for this section, as I said, we need your chair, we need your weights and your towel or resistance mat. So for now, I want you to stand up for me and take yourselves to the back of your chair. And once you're here, you can either use your chair or something more stable like a kitchen counter or your sink. We're going to go for a mini squat together. Now your mini squat, I want your feet to come out about shoulder width apart, and you're going to find it a little bit easier if you have those toes turned down to 10 to 2. We can hold onto the chair, and like ballerinas, we're all going to go down and a little squat for me and back up. So that squat doesn't have to be deep, it might just be a little squat and back up, or you might go all the way, okay? It's entirely up to you, you work to your range of movement. If you do get any knee pain, please just make the movement smaller and make sure those toes are turned out with your knees working in the same direction as your toes. So we're going to keep chest lifted throughout, and we're going to work for about 45 seconds on this one. And you might start to feel quite out of touch, so take it at your pace. If you need to take a rest, please just keep heels raising or take a seat if needed. Let's go for it then in 3, 2, and 1. Off we go. We're bringing it down. So I want you to make sure with this one, you're going to act as though you're going to sit back on the seat, and then we change our mind and we stand back up. We're going to keep chest lifted throughout, and it's as though we're working down in kind of one straight line within your body. Now, as I said, we're working these big muscles in your legs quite hard, so if you do start to feel a bit of a burn or you start to feel quite out of breath, this is why. We've got 15 seconds left here, guys. You're doing really, really well. If you feel comfortable performing the exercise without the chair, feel free to. You don't have to. We just keep that chest lifted, knees tracking. Finishing in 3, 2, and 1. Well done then, guys. We're going to keep heels raised in between, and I want you to grab your dumbbells or your weight alternatives here. So, with these weights or your tins or bottles of water, whatever it is that you're using today, we're going to keep heels raising. We're going to curl up, and I want you to pretend that you're going to push them up into your cupboard, okay, and back down. So if you feel like you need to take this exercise seated, then please do if you want a little bit more of a rest in between. But we're going to go for curling up, pushing up in your cupboard. So let's work together in 3, 2, and 1. Off we go. So we keep heels raising or toes tapping up in your cupboard. The same movement if you're sat down. Well done. So as we curl up, we're working those biceps in the front of your arms. As we push it up and forward, so we're not just directly going up. As we push up and forwards, we're working those small muscles in the front and tops of your shoulders. So if these muscles, well, they are quite small, and if you don't tend to work them that often, or if you feel as though they're quite weak, this might be quite a hard exercise with weights for you. If so, you can start this exercise without the weights and build up to use the weights as we go through. We've got 5 seconds to go. Doing really, really well here. Well done. That's 3, 2, and 1. Good work, guys. Doing really, really well here. So the next exercise that we're going to go for together, again, it's another big leg exercise. We're going to go for some lunges. We're going to go for forwards lunges instead of backwards lunges, and I want you to hold on to the side of your chair here. Now with your forwards lunges, I'll demonstrate from side on. You've got 2 different options. Option number 1, slightly easier, or for those of you who suffer with knee issues and a full lunge will aggravate any kind of pain. So for option 1, we step forwards and we just transfer the weight onto the front leg and step back. We transfer and step back, okay? We hold on for balance though if you need it. Option 2, we take it to your full lunge, we step it down into a lunge and push back. Down into a lunge and push back. But please make sure we hold on to either your chair, kitchen counter or wall so that you've got some form of stability there if needed. So let's work together then. We're going to go for 5 seconds in total. In 3, 2, and 1. Off we go. So we're working through it together, but we're going to make sure that we keep that chest lifted, shoulders back and down. And you only go as far into that lunge as you're comfortable doing. Make sure that you give yourself time to gather your balance in between. We try to make it a nice smooth movement, side to side. Good, we're over halfway in this one, doing really, really well here. We've got an upper body exercise coming up after this. Good, almost there. We finish in 3, 2, and 1. Well done then guys, let's keep those heels moving in between. And I want you to grab your towel or your cloth or your resistance band, whatever it is that you're using. For me today, it's a cloth. What I want you to do with this cloth for me then, we're going to keep heels tapping, and again you can do this exercise seated if you feel you need to. I want you to have your palms facing the ceiling for me. We're going to grab your towel or your cloth about shoulder width apart. If you're using a resistance band, you might want to take your hands closer together. Once we're here, we're going to take your hands down in front, again with thumbs turned out to the side, palms facing forward or up. Now together we're going to raise up. And once we get to this position, I want you to imagine that you're going to pull your cloth apart, okay? You can't see me doing it, but we're going to imagine we're pulling that cloth apart. And as you do that, we're going to pull this cloth in towards your ribs, okay? So we're still trying to pull apart, and we relax to bring down. Take it up, pull apart, and relax to come down, okay? So let's work together. As I said, if you're using a resistance band, you might want to bring hands closer together to add a little bit extra resistance. But we're going to go for it in 3, 2, and 1. Off we go. Keeping heels raising for me. Hand shoulder width apart. Let's take it up. Pull those hands apart for me. You won't look like you're going anywhere unless you're like the Hulk. We take it into the ribs. Keep that tension, and then we relax at the bottom. Now make sure you're not holding your breath throughout. But we're going to be working those small muscles in the top of your back, backs of your shoulders, that really work your kind of posture quite hard. As I said earlier, it's kind of a time where we tend to find ourselves slouching a little bit. So starting to get those muscles moving and getting them engaged is quite a good thing. Good, doing really, really well here. We've got 5 seconds to go, keep pulling apart, all the way into your ribs, keep pulling apart, and relax at the bottom. Good. So relaxing here, we've got one final leg exercise to go for. You're going to take yourself back round to the front of your chair. If you're already seated, you can stay where you are. But we're going to be going for a sit-to-stand movement. Now your sit-to-stand movement, if you've done any of our previous videos, you will know it's one of my favourites, but we're going to come to the front third of your chair. Option 1, we can push off. Option 2, we take hands over chest. So you've got 2 options there for me. And again, we're going to work together for 45 seconds, starting in 3, in 2, in 1, off we go. So with this exercise, we're going to make sure that we keep those feet planted on the floor. We're going to come nose on knees as you stand up. And we're going to make sure that we're nice and controlled as we stand up, as we take ourselves back down as well. You don't want to just fall back in the chair. So again, we're working those big muscles here, so if you do find yourself getting out of pockets just because they're using more oxygen to work, that it's very, very normal. Got about 10 seconds left on the clock here. Last 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Have a little relax here for me, guys. Keep those heels raising. Now this is your opportunity to grab a drink if it's needed. So we've gone through this circuit once together. Now you've got the option to rewind the video and go back through this circuit again, or you can take yourself straight into the cool down. So you've got got the option of either a 5-minute workout or a 10-minute workout today. I'll leave that option open to you, but I'm going to take myself straight into the cool down. Please pause it if you do need more time for your drink and your little rest. But we're going to keep heels raising throughout your cool down as well. Now we're going to start off by first of all rolling shoulders back. And I want you to time in your breathing with this movement. So we're going to breathe in as we take your shoulders up. Breathing out as we roll them down your back. Good, well done. Wow. So from here we're going to take hands to your lower back, squeezing elbows together, stretching all these muscles across your chest. Wow. And from here we're going to push it forward. So we're stretching out these muscles that we work really hard with, those pull-ins towards the end. We're pushing those hands away from your body, hunching your back, and this is the only time I will tell you to hunch your back. Good. We're going to have a little shake out here, resetting that good posture. Let's roll it back. Well done. From here we're going to take one arm across the body. So once you pull that arm across your body, you can either hold it below or above your elbow. And I want you to drop your shoulder down for me. It's going to try to creep up towards your chin, so we're going to make sure it drops down. And now if you want to, we can try to pull that shoulder a bit further, but please don't force it any further than what's comfortable for you. Good. From here, let's have a little shake. We're going to take it onto the other side again, hold it below or above the joint. Drop your shoulder. If you want to pull it across a little bit further, you can. Good. Just keeping those heels tapping as well for me, guys. I'm going to have your little shake out here. Now, to bring that heart rate down a little bit more after that hard workout today, I want you to start off first of all by polishing your tables for me. I'm just going to reach out, just a nice slow movement, keep the heels raised this way. So it's important when we do a hard workout like today that we do take our way through a cool down because we need to bring that heart rate down nice and slowly. So please don't skip it. They are very important, and you'll find as well over the next few days if you're prone to aching after exercise, taking a little stretch at the end will help with that. Good. Okay, so from here we're going to stretch out your glutes that we work really hard with, your squats and your lunges and your sit-to-stands. So I want you to cross legs over for me. We're going to hold onto the chair. You might want to be sat about halfway down or just about the front third. Crossing your legs, we're going to sit up nice and straight. And I want you to draw your foot up your leg as far as you feel comfortable. Whether that sits below the knee or above the knee, is whatever's best for you. Once you're at a point that you're comfortable with, we're going to hinge forwards and you're going to be feeling a stretch through the glutes on your bent leg. Well done. Let's take a little march. And we're going to take it through to the other side straight away. So crossing over, drawing up, either sitting below the knee, slightly higher up, or over the knee, whatever's best for you. And we're going to hinge here. Good, well done. So just taking a little march through, we're going to finish with your hamstring and calf stretches today, guys. So we're first of all taking it to your bent leg, other leg out straight for me, foot relaxed at the bottom. We're going to place your hands on the bent leg, sitting it nice and straight, let's hinge forward. So here we're going to keep the chest lifted, nice flat back, and we're going to be feeling a stretch through the back of your straight leg. Good. Now we're going to ease out. I want you to draw your toes back towards you and hinge back into that stretch. If you do get any pain in the back of the knee, please just slightly bend the knee here. But if you are aching over the next few days in your hamstrings or your calves, or any of the previous stretches that we've done, please just hold stretches for about 10 to 15 seconds each and you'll hopefully feel that ease off a little bit. Good. Relaxing through, a little march in between, taking it to the other side, leaning on the bent leg, hinge forwards together, relaxing that foot at the bottom, nice stretch from the back of the hamstring on the straight leg. Again, we hold for about 10 to 15 seconds. Good, well done. Just marching through here gently for me. And we're going to finish with a nice breathing exercise for you today. So I want you to take both arms out in front for me. We're going to breathe in as you draw them towards you. We're going to breathe out as you push them away nice and slowly. Good, same again. And all the way. Good, we're going to take it to one hand. Same again. Good, last time, both together. Good, well done guys, you did really, really well today. Thank you so much for joining me with this low intensity workout. As I said, please feel free to go back and repeat that main circuit before the cool down so you get a full kind of 10 minutes of circuit work to do. Hope you enjoyed though, and we will see you again soon.
Here we go. Perfect.